Okay, great. We are live. So, hi everyone, and welcome to the Foreman community demo. I'm Nofar, an active developer within the Foreman project, and I'll be hosting today's demo. As usual, we have some updates to share with you and some new things we've been working on. Before we get started, this demo is all about sharing the latest updates and answering your questions. We want everyone to participate, so feel free to ask away. Drop your questions or comments in the RSC at the Foreman or use YouTube live chat. We are monitoring both channels, so don't hesitate to speak up. Okay, this is our agenda for today's demo. Guess we can just go ahead, jump in and get started, everything. Right, first of all, some community updates. Actually, one update, just reminder that next week we'll be attending the FOSDEM and Config Management Camp conferences. We hope to see you there. We'll have a booth shared with the Ansible team in FOSDEM. And after that, for one day on Saturday. So we hope to see you there. And after that, we'll travel to Ghent to Config Management Camp, where we'll have 3 days full of talks and interesting topics from our community. Yeah, so can't wait to see you there. And that is all from the community update. Yeah, so let's jump into today's first demo by Ian. So Ian, whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Thanks, Nofar. I'm just going to get my screen shared. Alrighty. So I just wanted to showcase a nice fix that we had. This fix was brought to us by Kieran in the community. The idea here is that in some cases, when you're syncing a repository, in case maybe, I don't know, you run out of memory or something like that, the publication part of the repo sync might fail. And so what would happen in that case is you'd have an incorrect publication, and then subsequent synchronizations would also fail. And you would have to know to delete the repo and recreate it, and then sync again. So the fix that he brought us this was done by Marcus. Kieran was the one who made the issue. The fix is to actually automatically kind of heal in this case and regenerate the publication. There is one kind of catch that I was just thinking about as I was preparing this demo, and that's if you have a complete mirroring repository and the publication gets regenerated, technically it's not complete mirroring anymore. It's actually content-only mirroring. However, it's still, I think, better than having it fail completely. So I'm just going to quickly show what this does. Let me scoot over to my Foreman. So I have a repository here. And at the core of this, what this will do is it will recover from a bad publication. And I'll just show you. So I have a terminal here. If you load up a repository, so this is Ruby code here. If we find the repository with the ID of 1, and I just got kicked out, which is, you can see at the URL at the top here, this is repository with ID 1, which is my zoo repo that I'm testing with. What I can do is I can break the publication by running an update call and putting in a fake publication href. But let me not do that right now. What we should do is let's just see what the current publication href is. So I'm just going to run publication href, and we can see it's this. And if you wanted to, you could stick this endpoint right into the Pulp API and take a peek at it. You can use that with the Pulp CLI that we ship with Katello. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to something incorrect. Let's just like turn this into an 01. We're going to break it. And so previously, without this fix, if you tried to sync this, it would just fail. And I can't remember what the original error was. Actually, let's see if Kieran included it in his report. Doesn't look like it. So it would fail with some ugly error that was difficult to debug. But now it should fix itself. So let's reload the publication href. Now we see it's this 01. At this point, if we rerun the sync, it's not going to be smart and try to find the old publication href. It will generate a new one. I don't believe Pulp has the data to find the old one again, which is why we've regenerated it instead. But also, the old one could be broken, especially in the case of if the publication actually fails. In my case, I'm just breaking it purposefully. So let's just do a complete sync here. And then once this finishes, we can check the publication. And then let's see if it changed. So we'll reload publication href, and we can see that a new one was generated. And let's just take a quick look at the Dyn flow. Let's see if we can see what's going on here. So create publication was run, and we can see this contents changed was marked to true. This is a marker in our system pretty much for saying, hey, something changed in the repository. We need to regenerate the metadata so that you actually see new content being served. Anyway, so this was a nice quality of life thing. It should help people out. It should help people avoid having errors in the very rare chance that you do have a sync failure and it fails right at the point where you're generating your publication. But yeah, that is it for me. And yeah, I'm also looking forward to hopefully seeing some of you community folks at FOSDEM and Config Camp, well, I guess 2 weeks from now. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ian. So no questions in the channel. So Jeremy, you're next.
All right, thanks, Nofar. Let me share my screen here. So hi, everyone. I'm Jeremy from Katello team. I am here today to tell you about some new remote execution job templates that we're adding. And these relate specifically to the web UI of the new host details page. So ever since this page debuted, you've been able to do various package actions on your host. You can apply errata, you can install packages, update packages, whatever. So let's say I want to upgrade a package. I select my package and I hit upgrade. It starts a remote execution job. And yeah, this one's going to fail because I don't think I have that particular virtual machine running right now, but that doesn't matter. What I want to show you here is the rendered template. And we can clearly see that this is bash code that's being run. And until now, that's been the way it is. It always uses script to run the remote execution jobs. Now, for users of remote execution who prefer Ansible, the change today is that we're adding some Ansible default scripts. And so I will show you what we have added. If we go to the job templates page, the templates that are used by the web UI all end in by search. So if I do that search, we'll see them all here. And you can see here that for every Katello script default template, there is now also a Katello Ansible default template. So if you prefer using Ansible for your remote execution jobs, you can now use these in the web UI as well. One thing you have to remember, though, is there is one sort of setup step that you have to do, and you can just do this once and you're good to go forever, basically. But what you have to do is you have to go to the remote execution features page. And you have to find all of these by search features that I mentioned. And you have to change the default job template from the Katello script default to Katello Ansible default. So there's install errata, and then there's also 3 more for packages that we have to do here. So I'm going to change all of these to Ansible default. Packages update. I can't remember. It seems to resort them every time I click, which is annoying, but I think that's all 4 of them. All right, so now that I've changed those to Ansible default, I can go back to my all host page. I'm using the new one. And let's say I want to go do that package upgrade again. I hit upgrade, it starts a job. And now we can see that the rendered template is now an Ansible playbook. So now we are using Ansible by default from the web UI. That is what I wanted to show you today. And as always, I'm happy to answer any questions. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy.
Why is, if I may ask a question, why is the package name including a version?
It's a good question because we have a feature on the packages tab where sometimes you want to upgrade to a version that is not the latest version, and we actually had to do quite a bit of custom work to make this work. But you can see here some of these have drop downs if they have more than one version available, and you can actually specify which version you want to upgrade to.
Wouldn't it be the state and then a parameter with the version number instead of latest? Like, it looks like now you provided the version as part of the package name, but I don't think that's correct in Ansible.
Well, it seems to work. I don't know if there's another parameter I would need to provide, but we can certainly talk about that offline.
Yeah, let's do that. And I think we should also provide a search and sorting in the features page that you showed.
Well, sure. I agree with you there. Okay, anything else? All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you, Jeremy. Yeah, next topic is from me, so just need to share my screen. Okay, sorry, I'll just reshare the screen again. Okay. So it's kind of complicated because I need to share my screen in 2 different tabs because I'm also doing the stream. Okay, yeah, now I see everything looks good. Okay, so first topic for me is the return correct exit status of registration command. So basically, here, if we go to register host, we have the registration command, the core command we're all familiar with. And we added the set pipe fail in the beginning of the command to make sure that you'll get the correct exit status after you run the curl command. So before that, if the curl command failed for any reason, so the curl command itself failed, or if the registration failed during the process, you would still get an exit status equals to 0, which means that the command finished successfully, which was not the case. And now, because we added the set pipe pipe fail to the command, you will get the correct exit status. So any exit status if the curl command failed, or if the registration itself failed, you will get exit status equal to 1, or according to the curl command exit status. That was the first topic for me. And the next one, so I skipped one, set correct host owner during registration. So I also here I want to show like a use case, because there's no need to register a host, but I just wanted to show you that if you are using Foreman with forklift, the owner of your host that you're registering using any, like during provisioning or during host registration, would always be the anonymous admin. So we wanted to fix that. So now if you run the register host command from here, the host that will be registered, the owner of the host you're registering will be the owner, like the user that you used to generate this command. Yeah, so that's one fix that we added, and that is all for me. So anyone has any questions, please speak up. Okay, I guess not, so we can move on to our next topic. Yeah, by Maria, an update about webpack 5.
I'll share my screen then with the post. Yeah, here it is. We had the webpack 5 PR open for some time and received feedback on it, and it looks pretty safe to merge now that we're just after releasing Foreman 3.9. Then we have some time to work on this and revert this if needed. So we're going to merge this PR on Friday and let all the things run during the weekend and see the feedbacks we get on Monday and see if we need to fix stuff, if we need to revert it, and just to allow us a lot of time to really deal with this big change. So the UI should look the same. The UI should behave the same, and if anyone sees something that doesn't, then that means that we broke something, and I would love to know about that. The only big difference for developers is now Webpack does not run as a server, but it will create static files instead, and will take a bit longer to run. So if you want to read about it, there is this post, and in this post there's a link to the previous post with all the discussions, and the PR has a lot of discussions if people want to know more. And hopefully once we see it's really stable, I will release some more information like on all the infrastructure we have with Webpack 5. And we do plan on improving and optimizing the build process for the UI, so this is hopefully a good beginning for that. And yeah, I think that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. Okay, moving on to our next topic. Yeah, from Ewoud about UB3 and EL9 project update.
Yes, thank you. I think this is similar to what Maria said. Basically, there's an update on the developer status. The whole path to EL9 is a long one, and I gave a last update in community demo 134, and some things have improved. One big step of EL9 is also Webpack, so that's what Maria already talked about. I won't repeat that. Another big part is that we are updating the whole continuous integration stack. This is a separate RFC that posted in November, and at this point, 2 weeks ago, I asked all the plugin maintainers to update and migrate their CI. There's a big post or a big list in the action You can see some of them have already been merged, others are still open. This is also needed if you want to do testing properly after we merge webpack. So again, this is all tied together, and very important that plugin developers actually take the effort and merge it. Because after we merge webpack 5 on Friday, if you haven't updated your CI, it will break because we need Node.js 14. A lot of these CIs currently are still testing with Node.js 12, and this all makes it very easy. The reusable workflow, another big benefit is that we have in the Foreman a file called matrix.json, which I should have prepared. There's matrix.json, and basically this describes which versions we test with. So there's Postgres, we test with version 12, Ruby 2.7, and Node 14. You can see there are lists, so what we actually plan to do in the Ruby 3 migration is we plan to add version 3 to this, and this basically means that the whole test suite now runs with both Ruby 2.7 and 3.0, and we can do it centrally from Foreman itself. We can even do it for certain different versions, so that because it's taken from Foreman itself, you will get the right versions. And all of that is basically, if you use our action, which is documented in the README, basically, if you use this action with your plugin, it should do the right thing. You probably need to modify the branches here because some of them use develop, some of them use master, but those are all small changes. All the complex things it does well. You can even do matrix testing. So you can say, I want to test with Foreman 3.9 and develop, because I'm also maintaining for a stable branch. And all of that is taken care of by the reusable action. You don't need to worry about too much. And you can see this in Foreman expire hosts, where if we take some action, we can actually see we have Rubocop test is running, then we have Ruby testing, which is some basic one. Actually, on develop, we have Ruby on version 3.9, and we have Ruby on 3.8. So this is for Foreman versions. And you can see it's doing all that testing, and you can see what's going on. And all of this is, I would say, a very simple way of configuring it. You simply put it here in the matrix, and it does the right thing. So I highly encourage everyone to do this. There's also some things. Rubocop is certainly something we notice. A lot of plugins are still using outdated versions of Rubocop, which don't, for example, support the GitHub format, which makes it a bit hard to read. So I recommend everyone to also update that. But other than that, I think it's progressing smoothly. So we are now at the point where we want to merge this PR. Like with Webpack, we are picking a date in the future, which is going to be next Tuesday, which we've decided today's meeting. I don't expect a lot of problems by merging this. So it's not as big as Webpack, but plugin developers in general need to be aware of it. So I think that's the quick update. I still post every week on what we talk about in the meeting, so I'll continue doing that. But I thought this is a bit higher level overview of all the different pieces that are ongoing. And I think that's it, unless there are questions.
I just want to make sure I understood. So you mentioned there would be changes happening on Friday, as in tomorrow. Do you want the Katello, do the Katello GitHub Actions changes need to make it in before then? Or maybe I misheard.
Ideally, yes. Katello is a bit special, as always. So let's take that one offline. But all the other plugins, I would say we need to get it in by tomorrow, or CI will be broken and it will just be read.
Okay, well, I'll try to take a look regardless, so we don't delay.
Thanks.
Okay, I guess no more questions. I would like to say thank you, Ewoud, for all the provided information in the post and also all the examples you provided us. It really helped to understand everything. And our next demo will be in 3 weeks from now, as usual, on February 15th. And we hope to see you all there, but even before at the conferences. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining, and see you.